Hello, best team ever. Welcome to our Thursday Lunch and Learn. Today we are excited to have our friend Shelly Platt come and chat with us a bit about what is going on in her business and what she is up to these days. So come on in, everybody. Let's join and let me know if you're here and we will get Shelly on here and chatting. I see somebody, but I can't see. Let's see. We will tag some more just to see if you guys can hop on. Yeah, okay. I don't know why it only tags a few, but there's a few for you. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, oh good, Fraser. And Rihanna, hello, Fraser, hello. I miss you guys so much. Okay, approve, yay.
Your alarm went off to remind you. Good job, Rihanna. I'm glad that you are ready and excited for this. And hello, there's our Shelly.
I made it.
Hello. It worked. See? Ta-da!
Yay.
I love it when technology is on our side. Okay, well, let's get right into this so that we don't waste any of your precious time because you've got some good stuff to tell us. You were just telling me a few things before as we were chatting, things that you're doing and what you're doing to grow your business because you have really picked up some great momentum and making huge progress. So, Shelly, tell us about yourself, why you joined, why you stay, and just your story in a nutshell.
Okay, well, I joined because I was looking for a way to make money from home. I have severe social anxiety, and that makes it difficult to go out and be about amongst people. It made it difficult to go to school. It's difficult to hold down a job. So I wasn't really able to help out much with the bills, and that, of course, was horrible for my self-esteem. So I was looking for just a way to make money from home. So I joined Scentsy, and things went really well, pretty fast. And now I'm a superstar consultant. And now not only can I help out with the bills, but now my husband and I are even discussing him retiring early one day, because now that's a dream we get to have when it never would have been a dream before. So that, of course, is a huge boost to my self-esteem. So that's why I stay with Scentsy, and I'm super excited about the future.
I love it. And Shelly, your story is one of my favorite. Like you said, just these personal issues. Everybody has their challenge, whatever it is. And you've had some pretty big ones. And yet, look what you've done with that. You figured out how to make it your own and how to make it work so that that fear, that anxiety didn't have power or control over you. I remember, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I remember you saying that it used to be like something that took a lot of your energy and whatever. It was really hard for you to even go out to the mailbox to pick up the mail. So
it's true.
I'm so proud of all that you've done and how much you've been able to just overcome, and like it's a beautiful story, and it makes me cry. So I'm gonna not think about it because I'm already like, I just think that's so beautiful, and I just love what you've been able to do and overcome continually. You know, it's not over, obviously, but and just you're rocking and rolling. You have a team of, what do we say, 34 and growing every day. You're personally sponsoring all the time. Your PRV is just through the roof this month, almost 4,000, and you're a superstar consultant, but you are just knocking on that door of director. And I think it's going to happen this month because you are so close and we have plenty of months left. So I know you're not holding your breath because I've been there too, but I'm cheering for you. I think it's going to happen. So anyway, I love to see your dreams coming true, and that your future is better, but also even your present today is better because of what you've done, not just with this opportunity, but what you've done to grow yourself and to grow into it. So how have you figured out, let's just take a little teeny second and stay here. How have you overcome it? Was it, what did you do to overcome that hurdle?
It was a slow process. I'm better online when it's not face to face. So I thought about what I could do, and I really pushed that as hard as I could in every area. I do a lot of online parties. I have my Scentsy Facebook group where I can, contact and be in communication with everyone. So I try to I try to do that often. And like I said, I push the parties constantly, and I've learned how to do bag parties now. And so there's so much that I can still do with Scentsy. I mean, I do have to push myself outside my comfort zone, like with this kind of thing, but there's still a lot I can do that is manageable. So
good. Well, and I love that you figured out, instead of using that as a wall and saying, I can't do this, you figured out how to work with yourself to, you know, go over those walls and climb over it. And you've done so great. So you just are, so tell me about this month specifically, 4,000 PRV. That's crazy amount. Tell us about how you did it and what you're doing.
I think it's a crazy amount too. I'm completely shocked. I mean, I've had months where I didn't think I was going to make active, and I saw other people making all this PRV, and I thought, how in the world did they do that? But it's kind of a combination of getting lucky and booking those parties. I went through a period of time where I really didn't have very many parties at all, but I kept at it, and I would go back and ask certain people that I had asked before, and they said no. I would ask again, and I got someone to say yes. And then from her party, I got few booked from there, and then several booked from those parties, and it's just been snowballing. I probably overbooked myself. I do like 2 to sometimes 4 parties a week, which is crazy, and it's hard to keep up with sometimes, but I have huge goals, and I believe in pushing myself to reach those goals. So this month, all the parties just came together, and they were amazing. Because I usually either get a host or I get new members for my VIP group, or every once in a while I get a recruit. Sometimes I get referrals, so there's usually something I get. But this month, the parties have just been amazing. They've done really well. The orders are coming in, and then I did the bag party. That was my first one, and it went really well. She's the principal of a private school, local school from around here, and I wouldn't have gotten her if I hadn't done the QR code party by mail party. That's how I found her. So just doing all kinds of different areas of the different things, I think I have found some really good people that helped us go along this month and be really crazy good this month.
That's awesome. And Kathy has a great question. She said, how do you find the people? How do you find people to host for you?
How do I find what?
People to host. How do you find them? How are you? So what do you host inside your parties, or how are you finding your basket parties? And
the basket party, she actually asked me for the basket party. Like I said, I did the QR code party, and I reached out to her to see if she wanted to place an order. And then she asked me if I did bag parties, and I was like, well, I can. So
I love it. So I love that answer.
So, and then I ask people from my VIP group occasionally. But mainly I get most of my parties from because at the end of all my parties, I do a personal checkout, and I make sure I build that relationship with people during the party as best I can. I ask them all kinds of questions. I tell them about myself and build that relationship. And so then at the end of the party, I have them message me, and I do that by offering scent samples. I tell them they can fill out my form, and I'll send them some scent samples in the mail. But they have to message me to get the link to the form. So they message me, and then we can talk about it, and I ask them if they want to book, and a lot of them do. So
I love it. That's great. Well, and you hit on one of the things that I think makes your approach a little unique. And that is, you mentioned before that you really build relationships, but you do it in a unique way with record keeping. Can you tell us about how you keep track of people and just what you told me about record keeping and how that plays a big part?
I have a Google form that I have everyone fill out, and I ask them all kinds of questions, mainly the scents they like and the fragrance families they like. I ask them if they collect anything. I ask them about how they decorate their home. Do they have pets? All kinds of questions in this form, even though it's somewhat short. And then I ask them these things during the party too. And then every single time I get any kind of answer, I record that. And I use Trello for that. But I just started using Amy, actually, and it's amazing. So I will probably use Amy from now on, but I record all of that information. And so I have it when we have new products that come out. I know who to recommend those products to. Every single time I send out Happy Mail or I send scent samples, it's always customized to them with the scents and the things that they like. So hopefully that would encourage them to order. So
I love it. Well, and that's something that they can't get by just buying through a online store, or you know what I mean?
right.
Like it's that extra personal touch of, oh, I remember you said that you have a dog. Here's our pet product for your dog. Or I remember you said you love lilacs. Here's something, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I love that personal touch. And that record keeping that, like you said, could be a little overwhelming. So I'm glad that you found a system with Amy. The nice thing is you could tag in Amy. You could put a tag of, you know, pets or kids, or, you know, you could tag it. So then you could just look it up by that tag. And then when something comes out, or if you're just wanting to market something that month, you'd know who to send it to. So that's awesome. I'm glad Amy's working for you too.
I have like a million tags in there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and as you were telling me about this, I was imagining, like, do you have a notebook? Do you have a printout? Do you do paper like this, where you know, I'm just like, how do you keep track of it? So the nice thing about like Amy, or even, you know, Trello or something like that, is that you can search digitally as well. You know, you could do a search for stuff. So that's awesome. I love that. And I love that, like you said, you give samples for products that they like, or even just, you know, follow-up text to be like, hey, bring back my bars coming back. And I remember you loved this bar before. You can also pull reports on your workstation that really help with that as well, if you want to look at things that they've actually purchased before. It wouldn't help with, like you said, the home decor trends that you keep track of and stuff like that too, but it would help with at least purchase history. So there's that. So if you're listening to her and you're like, oh, I should have been doing this all this time, you can start now, and you can even go backwards for everybody who's ever bought from you. So okay, and this says, what is a QR code party? And then Kathy says, the parties you have, are they online? So the QR code party, do you have one handy? Do you want to just show real quick what you do for your QR code party?
I don't, but actually maybe I do. I do have okay. Yeah, the QR code party, I also call it a party by mail. So you send out the form for people to fill out, and if they fill out your form, they get a packet in the mail, and you send the catalog, and the catalog will have these QR codes, and then they can scan it, and there's a little video that shows the product and how to use the product and little tips and stuff like that. So it's really cute. And then you can send little product samples in with it. And I also like to stick to the rub and smell stickers, mainly because they're easier to ship and make. And so I did a sheet like this with laundry products and cleaning products and body products, and then regular. And then I just put the stickers on there according to the scents that person likes. And then that's a paper that they can keep and hang on to and know which scents that they like best. But that's pretty much a QR code party. And then you follow up with everybody through text if they want to order on the party. So there's no online part to that. But I do, the rest of the parties I do are all online.
That's awesome. Fraser loves your party by mail name. He says that's an amazing name for it. So that's really fun. Party by mail. Okay, very good. And your online parties. So the way that you book an online party through the online parties is you just ask and say who wants to book a party, or what's your secret for that?
In the party, people talk about what they want, and I think that's a big one. If they say they really love, everybody's loving the Glimmer and Glow warmer, and that's like $65. So they're always like, oh, I can't get that one. So I always bring up, well, you could try to earn this by hosting a party. You can get some free product and some half off product, and it'll be lots of fun. And I don't tell them it's easy, but I do tell them I set it up and I run the party, and I will help you invite your guests to the party. And then you want to be friendly. So they know they have a part to play as well, but it doesn't sound like a lot of work. So
I love that. I think it's so important to make it fun and exciting and a good way for them to get what they want, but also for fun for their friends, right? And so no pressure. So that's really good key. I love that. So you're just doing so great, doing all the things.
Thank you.
Well, and you and I talked as well about Visibly and different ways to post it, because there's a million different ways to do online parties. There's a million different ways to do everything. that's what I love, but also that's what gets overwhelming. So thank you for helping us work through all these little details of how you do it, because it just kind of shows another way that's working.
Right.
And you mentioned you don't use Visly. So if you are watching and you don't know what Visly is, it's a program where you can basically create a whole bunch of posts, and then you just kind of drop it to program in to post for you in your party. And you can also post those things by scheduling it within the party through Facebook itself. What have you found? Why have you not set up Visly for yourself, or what have you found with
I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and when I do my online parties, and when I post, I like the posts to have formatting, like a heading, and you can make stuff bold, and you can give things bullets, and I feel like that makes the post easier for people to read. So I really like that, and I haven't really had time to mess around with Visly to see if that formatting would stay. I have a feeling it wouldn't. So I don't use Visly because of that. And a lot of times Facebook turns my posts into listings. And so I have to fix that. And I've read that some people are having a little bit of issue with Visly over that. But I do still want to look into Visly, because that would just be so amazing to set up my party once and then be able to schedule it and just change a few things. That would cut down on a lot of time. But
yeah.
And I think Visly is amazing because you can get so many different parties from so many different people and just make a few changes to them and you're done. So it is an amazing program.
One other thing that I found with my parties is when it's posted through another app like Visly, sometimes with the algorithm, you really are pushing against that as well. So,
True.
you know, you got to find, there are definitely pros and cons to everything,
True.
but I love hearing that even with the huge push for Visly and how it automates everything so that you could be a little more present in the parties, you're still able to do it by just posting ahead of time in your own parties and without even Visly or anything extra. Sometimes, you know, simple is better, less is more. So, you know, find what works for you. And especially if you're going to take 3 days to figure out Visly when you could just, be, you know,
doing parties.
Doing what you do. So, like I said, there's so many different ways to do it. So I love hearing how you're doing it. And so great. And Liz says you rock and you're such an inspiration. So.
Thank you, Liz.
So it's so fun. I love, like I said, I love hearing just what you're doing and how you're doing it, and that, you know, you don't have to do something that's, you're not reinventing the wheel. I love that you're even just sticking to your one thing that you found and kind of putting on those blinders of this is what's working for me, and until it stops working or you get bored with it, there's really not a lot of reasons to try to, you know, bring in all the things, because sometimes it gets so cumbersome that we get overwhelmed and we're not really making progress because we're trying to think of some amazing new way to do it.
Right. Yeah. And I, you know, certainly not perfect at it. And when the parties are rolling in like this, I don't really have a whole lot of time for record keeping and follow up. So it's kind of an ebb and flow. Sometimes the parties are good. Sometimes I'm working on follow up. Rarely can I get it all done. So.
That's awesome. Well, and Liz said, are you still doing the mystery party?
Yeah, I still do the mystery party a lot. Heather, our sponsor at the time, she came up with the mystery party. It's like a clue game, except it's the whole party is involved in that. And yeah, I still use that because I think that also helps book parties, because I call it a murder mystery party. And a lot of people find that intriguing and they want to see what it's all about. Some people get in there and like, oh, it's a clue game, and then they're out. But a lot of people stick around, and so I think that helps too.
Yeah, I love it. It's all about fun, especially in our day and age where there's so many things that we're trying to do, so many serious things, so much, just life is heavy and we're kind of all stuck in life. And so something that brings fun and excitement as well as products, so they don't just feel sold to, they feel like they're part of the party, you know. So I love that. That's awesome. Oh, I had something else that I was going to ask, but must have been a lie because it's gone. And tell us about your sponsoring and your recruiting from these parties. You are doing a great job building your team as well. What's the natural flow of that from these parties?
That's a question I ask on my form, and I have everybody fill out the form at the end of the party. And sometimes then when I do my personal checkout, I go check out their answers on the form. And sometimes I get lucky and someone's just, they're interested. I ask them if they're interested in joining Scentsy. I have a few different options for them to choose, like they're interested but they can't afford it. They're interested but they'd like more information, that kind of thing. And so then I can talk with them then, and I have gotten a few recruits that way. I meet people and then I post about joining in the party at the end. And just when I do my personal checkout, I try to bring that up with everyone. And I make sure I paid attention to how they were in the party. And if I can compliment them on that, I will. Like, Mary, you were so friendly in the party. I think you would be fabulous doing what I do. Have you ever thought about doing it? So I try to bring that in. Most of the time I get a lot of no's, but sometimes I go yes. And then I do try to do every single time there's a host exclusive kit available, I offer that to the host. Whether she's said before that she's not interested or not, I still offer it, because sometimes they change their mind when they know there's a host exclusive kit and that I could possibly flip the party to them. So I do use that, and I actually just signed someone today with a host exclusive kit.
Yay.
So
yay, that's awesome. Tell us really quickly, and then we'll wind down, so I'll let you go. But tell us really quickly about your personal checkout system. Do you have them order online? It sounds like you're talking with them one-on-one. I love it. Tell us a little bit more about what that looks like for you.
I message them and I let them know that so-and-so's party is about to wrap up. And then I have 3 questions with the group that I go over. And the one is joining. I always ask them about joining. And then if they say no, then I ask them if they'd like to host and point out the benefits of hosting. And then if they tell me they're not interested in that, ordering a second, I ask them if they'd like to place an order on the party today and help so-and-so reach her host rewards. And I get a lot of orders that way. People don't order through the party so much as during the checkout.
I love it. Yeah.
And I offer to place the order for them if they would like me to do that, or I give them the link to the shopping link. So, and then we move on from ordering to hosting, and then we move on from that to joining my Scentsy group on Facebook. So I cover all the questions, and if they don't message me first for the link, I message them. I message everyone from the party in every single party. So
I think that's awesome. I think that's the key. And my favorite takeaway from all of this growth, all of this momentum, all of this PRV, the recruits, the team size, the promotions, all of this, my favorite part is you're doing it based on one same system of a party. You're getting parties booked off of parties. You're getting recruits based off of parties. You're getting PRV and then the next host based off of party. It's all just one big circle that isn't complicated, but you're just redoing it and doing well. So that's awesome. The power of a party. You don't have to do it as a party, but if you are thinking about, how do I keep this going? It's such a great system for keeping the ball rolling in and of itself without having to find new people on your own because they're being brought in by your host.
Right.
So
I feel like it's the best way to meet lots of new people. In this business, if we want to keep growing, meeting new people has to happen some way. And online parties, you meet a lot of people in a short amount of time. So it's such a good way to meet people. So.
And somebody, like you said, that you probably wouldn't be doing this in real life if you had to. So, thank goodness you figured out how to do it online and that, it's really working for you. So thank you for being such an inspiration and for sharing all of your great tips and just what's working for you.
My pleasure.
This was so fun. Yeah. Anything else that I didn't cover that you want to tell us that's been working for you lately?
Nothing I can think of right now.
Okay, well, I'm going to say you covered a lot. So thanks for being our lunch buddy and sharing all of your great information and just what it looks like for you. Everybody's business gets to be different. That's my favorite part about it. And I love hearing about you and what's working for you and how you're doing it. So keep up the great work. Thanks for all the great tips. And we will keep cheering you on for a big promotion this month. And if not now, it will happen because you are continuing that momentum. So that's awesome. Here's to a great month.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for joining in, and we'll chat again soon.